The Interview escapes from stuffy studios and cookie-cutter sets to explore the spaces where the world's most accomplished individuals live, work, play, and love. In the blink of an eye, The Interview has aired 42 shows over the past year. On the first interview on March 6th, we were graced by the soothing voices of Hallyu star Brian and Kim Jo-han, the big daddy of Korean R&B. Since then, we dove into the world of musical theater and went behind the scenes with Broadway actor Michael Lee and musical director Robert Johansson. Discovered how music can transcend all barriers, with artists including international musical and music director Woody Park, Hahn Dae-soo, who sang about Korea's most dynamic era, Im Sun-hae, the early music prima donna, and Im Dong-chang, a pianist leading the K-classic movement. Swedish singer Lasse Lind showed us how music can free the soul. We spoke with Debbie Hahn, famous for her work Venus, which helped to change the paradigm of beauty. At the Gwangju Biennale, a modern art festival, we spoke with installation artist Michael Ju and the Bottari artist Kim Soo-ja to glimpse into their artistic worlds. We also caught up with photographer Kim Jung-man to hear why he gave up commercial photography for pure art. The Interview also explored fashion and design. We spoke with Lee Ju-young, a Hallyu designer who captivated pop stars all over the world. Cathy Yeon Choo Lee, CEO of Ekatrina, New York, which has caught the eye of women in Korea and around the world. And Lee Gun-man, a designer who has transformed Hangul into the world's most unique monogram designs. Toby Dawson, the Olympic bronze medalist of freestyle skiing from the Torino Winter Olympics in 2006. Figure skater Kim Yeon-a's star choreographer David Wilson. Pro golfer Yoo Sun-young, who enjoyed the victory at the LPGA. We got moving with the world's sports stars. But that's not all. We met with dancers who speak with their bodies. Ballerina Kang Soo-jin and Julia Moon, General Director of the Universal Ballet. And the ever-talented hip-hop choreographer Lyle Beniga. Our days spent with these special guests brought a sense of rhythm and movement into our lives. We met with scientists making the world a better place. Robotics engineer Dennis Hong, iWriter-developer James Powderly, and Professor Lee Sang-mook, a living testimony for the power of hope. Their honesty and passion rekindled our own dreams and hopes. We also met with successful CEOs. Choi Jong-il, creator of the popular children's character Pororo. Choi Ji-ah, founder of Ongo Food and promoter of Korean food. And Jürgen Koenig of Merck Korea, who brought innovation to business management in Korea. Over the summer, we flew to the US to meet amazing Koreans active in America. In Los Angeles, James Rue was giving a voice to Korean Americans through his journal Koream. And actor C.S. Lee gave us the world's first look behind the scenes on the set of the hit Showtime series Dexter. In Washington, D.C., we met North Korean human rights activist Mike Kim, a modern-day hero, and Dana Tysoon Burgess, who explored his Asian American identity through dance. In New York, we swung by the Michelin star restaurant Danji to meet with Hooni Kim, a Korean chef bringing Korean food to the Big Apple. After a roller coaster year, The Interview looks back on 2012. We're joined by good friends we've missed so much. Check out the ups, downs, unforgettable memories, and revealed secrets of The Interview 2012 on this end of the year special. Like sugar and spice. So we have this wonderful wine and some food, so please enjoy. This is our year-end, so let's feel comfortable and enjoy our time together today. You know, it's been quite a while since I've had a chance to really spend some time with you. And I'd like to find out how this year has been since you guys being on The Interview. Let me start with you.
Oh, yes, all right.
Hahn Dae-soo, the father of Korean folk rock. Korea in the 1970s was characterized by freedom and protest. In our April interview with Hahn, we caught an inner view into his dynamic and dramatic life.
Because of my grandfather. And the basic purpose of music is to soothe the soul, to heal the wounded. I opened the closet.
He told us about heartbreak when he separated from his first wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the next morning I get a phone call. I have left you already. Please go to Mr. Soso's office and sign. That was it.
Wow.
So that was the end of it.
Wow.
All you hear is the sound of the clocks ticking, or the very empty sound of anchor woman in the morning news.
And how he overcame that pain to begin a new life with a new love.
The more shot I take in, more beautiful she's becoming. After 5 shots, she's Miss America. After 6 shots, she's become Miss World. That's what happens. I couldn't go home. She's my teacher.
We followed him to his morning radio show, witnessed the first melodies of the Hahn Dae-soo guitar, and heard Hahn sing an amazing duet with fellow musician Kang San-hae.
잘하는 건 내 아버지 repertory. Well, INNERview has done incredible things for me. Many of my friends all over the world actually watched it. And work-wise, I've been quite busy. I've done 2 Sesibong shows.
Oh, wow.
Sesibong is like a retro show with Song Chang-sik, Kim Se-wan, Jung Woo-ni, and myself. 2 big shows like that. And also, I made 2 books I published.
Wow. You've been really busy.
And then the rest of the year was lots of suffering. There's the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and suffering. Well, because, you know, I'm actually a single pop. So I had to take care of my 5-year-old daughter. And my wife is still not that well, physically and mentally. So it's been very busy and a lot of trying times.
You were just so candid and vulnerable, and I mean, that's what people love about you. And I felt like my job was so easy because you were already, you know, letting your inner side show. So I didn't really have to do a whole lot.
No, you are a gracious host, really.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, it's, you know, it's such a pleasure to be able to meet incredible people like I have this past year. And you know, I don't want to say that I have any particular favorites, but but everyone that I've met, and especially you guys, have been, you know, so much fun to talk to. Cathy, I'd love to ask, how has the interview kind of impacted your life? Is that too grand to say?
Oh, it was a wonderful experience.
Cathy Yeon Choo Lee is the CEO of the luxury accessories and handbag brand Ekatrina, New York.
It's my honor to be here.
Oh my goodness. You know,
Her interview, which aired in September, revealed Lee's unique and honest philosophy behind her designs.
I'm a small company owner. And I am very thankful that I can continue with my own philosophy.
As well as the story about how her love of beauty pulled her from industrial design into fashion design.
I was actually working in Crate and Barrel as a cash register and inventory stock.
She talks about why she left the comfort of New York for Korea.
Also, and Taylor, what was it that brought you to Korea?
I fell in love.
Was it love at first sight?
Yes.
And how she manages to balance work and home life as a happy mother.
But after I was born, after being a mom and after spending time with her, you know, I learned how to listen and I learned how to design that is lighter bag for human.
She took us through her 2012 summer collection at her launching on a trendy street in Seoul, and even showed us around her studio for a sneak peek at how her masterpieces were born.
지금 어떤 작업을 하고 계신가요?
손잡이 마무리 작업하고 있습니다.
After the show, people start to email me and talk to me, and they start to I mean, Ekatrina handbag has been, you know, the hit. after the
That's
show.
great.
So I was very thankful.
Oh.
And I had a wonderful time talking to my old friends that I never met for the last 20 years. You know,
Really?
they emailed me. So it was really good.
And Woody,
Susan.
my can fellow.
Yes.
Music director and composer Woody Park has an unusual background and education from MIT. Park shared his experiences with the soccer-themed nonverbal performance High Kick, which brought him accolades from the renowned Edinburgh Festival, how it felt to be called back for encores in Korea, and other stories from his musical life. From his destiny to play music,
Like, you know, I feel like music chose me.
to the passion he felt when he first played the guitar.
Freshman year, I just started playing like 8 hours a day.
8 hours a day.
Yeah, because there was this competition
Oh my
coming
goodness.
up. and
To his
you're
humble
always gonna
outlook
deal
on
with it,
life,
but I feel
even
like
after all of
I'm
his
definitely in a
accomplishments.
better place where, you know, I accept who I am, my limitations, which are many, but I realize that those limitations and whatever I feel like I lack are what make what I do unique and what make it me.
Thank you. So
At his
great to
studio
see
in
you
Los
again.
Angeles, we got to see Park's unique way of
Teamwork
working.
and then also promote the company. You know, one of the things they told me
And
was
I
they
tried my
wanted,
hand at composing.
bar 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Of course, we couldn't leave Park without hearing his wonderful guitar music that touched us deeply in our hearts.
How's life been for you since May?
It's been great. Like Cathy said, people from a long time ago I've reconnected with, and it's been great in terms of you know, getting out there unintentionally, you know, and reconnecting with a lot of people. And yeah, the year's been great. You caught me at a time of a lot of personal growth and you know, changes, and so and I'm happy to say that things that happened after that directly related to what we were talking about, you know, has resulted in the last year. And so I'm very happy that it was very therapeutic with you. I think I was like, oh, you're gonna make me cry or something. So you know, I really appreciated the candor we could share.
Woody, when we met, you were in charge of the music for the nonverbal performance for the High Kick musical, right? And I heard that it went to the Edinburgh Festival, and I'm curious how it was received.
Oh, it was received great. We got a lot of international exposure, and I was really happy for the cast who had worked so hard to, they have to physically work with soccer skills and everything, and it was a great experience for them as well.
Wow. You know, I still remember that song, I love soccer. Dun, 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 dun. It's very catchy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was really great experience. It was kind of my, you know, first foray into Korea professionally the last year and a half, so it's really a good experience.
Well, and since then, just very recently, you had a concert at the Korean traditional music place, the Gugagwon.
Yes, it was called the Four Seasons, and it featured Kang Eun-il and her group Haegeum Plus, and it was kind of my homage to Seoul and its beautiful changing seasons. I'm from LA, it's one season, so it was nice to have all four. And
Korea has some incredible seasons, four
so
very distinct seasons.
Exactly. And a kind of the urban atmosphere coupled with Mother Nature's was really unique for me, so I was inspired to write that piece.
And what was that like performing with Kang Eun-il and Haegeum Plus?
Oh, they're just amazing. So it was really really fulfilling, and the process of getting it ready and everything was really wonderful. Yeah.
Awesome. Kathy, I'd like to ask you about your new collection. Ekatrina was always a really wonderful brand, and I've seen your catalogs from prior. But what was the reception with your new collection like this year? Because you've been very, very busy, haven't you?
Yeah, I was very busy.
Yeah.
We launched this new collection, Ekatrina Python collection. So we are introducing python skin and crocodile.
Nice.
So
I think I'll be visiting your store again really soon.
Yes. So yeah, it was really good. We introduced it last August in New York and also LA. So we are still doing it. And also we are, we did launch the second brand called Lobby Moss. So yeah, it's under the big umbrella of Ekatrina, New York.
That's
Yeah.
great. And personally, has there been anything?
busy teaching students and working with the different companies and like raising Nahi. Nahi's birthday was last week.
Oh,
So I've been
happy
organizing
birthday,
that as a
Nahi.
business plan. It's a big business plan to organize 5 years old. Yeah, birthday girl. I think she's growing too fast. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying her. I mean, I'm like telling her every night, don't grow too fast. Can I enjoy you more? But you know, time goes. C'est la vie. That's life.
Wow. Now, your daughter is
Yes.
growing fast too. Yes.
Oh yeah, she's actually she's with me in the studio.
Yes.
And, she's going very fast, and she's also expressing
Right.
her views. And let's say, for instance, the other day we had a quarrel. You know, me and my wife, we were arguing about something, and she would put me in the corner and says, "Don't you do that anymore. Mother is our friend. Remember?" Oh, she's very perceptive of what's going on already at age 5. I was quite shocked.
Wow.
They
Very
are.
smart girl.
Very smart girl.
Well, this year you've also introduced your new guitar,
Yes.
and
have
I would love to know more about that.
Oh yes, the fully custom-made ones from Seoul were sold out, the first batch, right?
Congratulations! All right.
And then right now, most of the guitar production is done in China. Not only us, but even the big top American companies.
Wow, I'd love to
So-
see your guitar.
Oh,
I know-
would you like to?
I
Yeah.
see it
Oh.
down there.
Well,
Ooh,
there you go.
Wow.
beautiful.
That's
This is
Wow.
called Sunburst. It's like the sun.
Oh wow.
And I made the sound holes much smaller because it's for performance. You can plug it in. So it's not as jumbo, not as big as the other guitars. But I
Wow.
like it because it's much more mobile. You can walk around the stage.
Well, you know, Woody is also a
Right,
musician and
right.
composer and classical
Musician,
guitar, so
right.
maybe he can play a little something
You
for
wanna check
us.
it out?
Sure, let's
Yeah.
see how it sounds. Yeah.
I don't know if you can do it.
Oh.
Beautiful. 좋습니다.
All right, you're good.
Woody approves.
So I'm gonna take this.
That's his holiday present.
Yeah. You can give me that for my Christmas present.
Thanks so much for showing that to us.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
I wanted to see the final product in person, so this is my opportunity to see this.
Good instrument.
So now you have the very interesting job of being my interviewer. So I get to be the interviewee, and you all can ask me some questions about me or about the show. You know, basically, there's no holds barred. You can ask whatever. Just make sure that it's appropriate for broadcasting. And I'm talking to you.
I do that. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Go?
Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with you.
Okay.
I'm a little
Susan.
nervous
No,
now.
no. Oh boy, I see a cold sweat. Anyway, Susan, you know,
Yes.
you're a very busy lady, and you have many interests in life. When you're not working in the studio, on your free time, what do you enjoy doing most?
Gosh, that's a great question.
Right.
You know, now that I'm actually being interviewed, I realize how nervous this can get.
Tables are
Because I'm
turned.
usually the one always asking. Well, I love nature. I'm a super adventurous person.
really?
So I love anything that has anything to do with nature, going
I
outside. I'm a scuba diver. I love hiking.
Really? Scuba?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, scuba diving. I love going to all kinds of islands and exploring under the water.
Wow.
And I take
that's
photos underwater.
Amazing. Wow.
And hiking too. I've been to Nepal and the Himalayas and all over Korea to go
Wow.
trekking and hiking. So I'd say that when I'm free, I love to explore nature.
Wow.
And I went skydiving for the first time this year, and it was
Amazing.
fantastic. fantastic. Wonderful. It was so much fun.
You're a brave lady. Me, I would never do that. No.
I'm kind of too much of a risk taker, so
Wow.
anytime I do anything like this, I tell my mother afterwards.
Wow.
That's good.
And I don't think I told my mom about me skydiving, so surprise!
No, that's a shock, really. Wow, that's great.
So that's what I
Excellent.
do in my free time.
Wonderful.
Cathy Lee?
Uh-oh. Hi there.
Are you ready?
After the show, I've watched every single interview show, and I've watched these beautiful locations in the show. What's your favorite locations of the 42 shows that you've done?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, it's so hard to choose. I've met with some incredible people, been to some incredible locations. I'd say the top 4 or 5 would be mostly in Korea. One of the places that I loved was going to Yeosu for the expo.
Wow.
And that's where I interviewed Professor Dennis Hong with the robots and experienced the robots, you know, playing soccer and stuff. And Yeosu is just a beautiful town, and the expo was done so well. Beautiful hotel, everything.
The host of the 2012 World Expo. We met robotics engineer Dennis Hong for the 2012 Yeosu World Expo. We got to meet Charlie, a robot that can walk and talk, and the little soccer-playing Darwin robots.
It's amazing how they know how to get back up. 3, 4-year-old kids. Another place that I enjoyed going to was a place called Yeongnam, which is where they have the Korea International Circuit. It's for the race car driving, the F3 race car driving. And there, I also had a chance to get in a race car and drive with the champion.
Wow.
One of our most exciting interviews was with Ricardo Bruns Choi, the KSF Korea Speed Festival champion 2 years in a row. The inner speed devil in me came out when the car we drove nearly hit 200 kilometers per hour. Wow, that was so awesome! And one really interesting place was filming David Wilson, who is the choreographer for the skating sensation Kim Yeon-a. And we filmed at the Olympic Park on the ice. So we were sitting in these chairs on the ice rink. And it was so cold. I had an amazing time interviewing figure skater and choreographer David Wilson, and took advantage of learning a few things on the ice. We were smiling through the interview, but believe me, it was cold.
You obviously have some dance training.
So which interview was most difficult to film?
Well, filming on location poses a whole other set of challenges than filming in the studio. As you can see now, you know, we're not filming in the studio. This is a restaurant or cafe. I think that in itself, it provides a beautiful background, but also a real challenge for our staff because we're trying to find the right place and also get it for enough time that we can film the show.
Right.
Some of the most difficult ones were dealing with the weather. Sometimes it's just way too cold outside, and everyone else is wearing like a really thick parka or something, but I'm sitting there in like something really thin, freezing outside. So the cold is something that was tough. In the beginning, we filmed an amazing artist called Debbie Hahn, and she's a fantastic artist. She was probably our record longest filming because it started really early in the morning. We ended late at night. I think it was over 13 or 14 hours.
Wow.
So starting at the gallery where she showed her stuff, going from each floor where she had her different exhibits to all the way to her house that was very far from the gallery. And so that was a marathon, and I think everyone was exhausted afterwards. But it looked good on TV.
The episode featuring Korean-American artist Debbie Hahn was filmed in 4 different galleries and was the longest shoot in the interview history. It was an unforgettable episode for the entire team.
All right, Susan, now we have $1 million question here. Let's talk about men.
Men.
But to make it very simple, let me just give you the type.
Okay.
Do you prefer Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise or Sean Connery?
Well,
Okay, let me throw in Sting.
Sting.
Okay, so, four times.
How about all of them?
Okay, that was a good answer. All right.
You know, I think all of them are really handsome. I'd say that my ideal type would be someone like Sean Connery.
Oh, that's me. That's me. Yeah, baby.
Cool. Sean Connery is so cool. I mean, not that the others aren't, but there's something very dignified and cool. And maybe it's because he played James Bond so well. Sure. But also, my father looks a lot like Sean Connery.
Great.
And yeah, so I think my father, because he was so handsome, he looked a lot like Sean Connery.
Let me just add. Oh yeah, thank you. Let me just add. Even as he's aging, he still has that charm about him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's charming still.
Yeah.
Just
Very
men
charismatic.
can certainly age well.
Right.
They really can, and some women can too.
Right,
but
some
he
women.
has aged incredibly.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Sean Connery, if you're watching this,
Hey, Sean.
anytime you want to be in the interview, just let us know. Come on over.
Come on the soul.
Well, you know, as a Korean American who is really far from the culture of Korea, I really admire how you speak Korean perfectly and you're really completely bicultural. I think, you know, this is not so much of a question, but it's more of a compliment. I mean, I think you're just doing such a wonderful job on the show, and yeah, I mean, what are the reactions people tell you actually when they meet you?
Well, thank you so much for the compliments. I feel so honored to be able to do a show like this because it's really been a dream come true. I love talking with people one-on-one. Just that's my thing. I love just getting really deep and digging in. So that's been really fun for me. What people have basically told me is that they enjoy the show because they feel like the questions are not contrived. That it seems that I'm really asking the person about themselves, and it's like a conversation. And you know, I may not be a comedian and dancing all over the place and doing something like like one of the famous Korean talk show hosts like Kang Ho-dong. Very different style, but people have told me that they really appreciate just how sincere they feel that I'm being.
You made me open.
Really?
Yeah, I was not planning on talking about my family and my daughter, and you know, it was purely about my handbag and my professional life. And then somehow it was leaning toward to what I'm thinking about. And how I respect the life, and how I, deal with my, husband and my daughter, and like really all about, my life. And I was watching the show, I was very thankful. Yeah, because you really made me talking about that in most uncomfortable situation.
I mean, seriously, like it's really not natural to have a deep conversation
with the with
many
people.
All these people in front, and we've got these lights, and we've got 20 plus people, and 6-7 cameras. So I know that it can be really nerve-wracking. But you guys were a joy to work with, so it made my job that much easier. And when people say that they've enjoyed our show, I mean, we've had people from Oman. I was walking near the Hamilton Hotel in Itaewon, and these two guys from Korean guys who were working in Oman, they came up to me and they were like, "Oh my God, Susan MacDonald from the INNERview!" And I was like, "You watched my show?"
They saw you in Oman.
Yeah, they live in Oman. And they are expatriates there, and they came up to me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we want your autograph and whatever." And this is a relatively new show, so I really don't have a concept on how many people are watching, but we really do get into every single country out there, from Micronesia to Zimbabwe to all over Europe. And my family, of course, is watching this. My mom and my uncle, he's like watching it all the time. So just the impact that we're able to have, and that means that I have to, live a really nice, like, upright life.
No scandals.
No scandals.
Continue on.
Yeah, wonderful
Actually,
job.
you do need a little bit of scandals once in a while.
Then that would get the ratings all the way up, okay, Sean Connery, please.
That's a good scandal.
There you go.
Susan, do you have any superstitions that, before shows, or any pre-show ritual? Anything?
That's a great question. You know, at first I thought that I would set some type of a lucky charm or something like that, but I really decided against it. So there's no lucky charm, there's no lucky underwear, there's no lucky, you know, perfume, nothing like that. However, I do have a certain kind of routine that I like to go through. And usually that involves me not taking any kind of personal phone calls for several hours before the show. And I also like to make sure that I am well rested. If I don't sleep the night before, then I can see it on camera. One of the other things too is right before just putting on my mic, I like to go into the restroom or wherever is quiet and just basically kind of get grounded. And so I'll say a little prayer. Sometimes if it's clean, I'll get on the floor and I'll get on my knees, or I'll sit down on the ground and I'll just pray. And I find that when I don't do that, I can tell it's very different. So it's really important for me to just even have 1 minute to gather and get some strength from above, and then it goes well. Yeah. So those are the things that I do. I mean, nothing crazy like doing Hail Marys, jumping up and down. But I also feel that I need to be able to psych myself up on some level, because I'm here as the host, and whoever is the guest needs to feel comfortable.
Sure.
So sometimes when the guest is really shy and introverted, I need to figure out a way to pull them out of themselves.
Right.
And so if I'm too quiet, then they're going to be really quiet too. So those are the things that I do before a show. So it certainly feels very different to be the interviewee and the guest as opposed to the interviewers. And I think you guys did a great job. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's great.
Our pleasure.
Now we're going to do something that we've never done on the interview before, and that is a speed quiz. Woo. Can I hear a whoop whoop? All right, we're going to break up into two teams. Hahn Dae-soo and I will be on one team, and Woody and Cathy on another team. The loser team, team has to sing a song.
Oh no! We better win.
So, can we do it?
We can do it.
Yes, we can do it.
Let's do
All right,
this.
yes. So we're going to switch places and get going. All right, go. Okay, now this is a special event that's held every 4 years, and this is an athletic. Yes, but where was this held in this past year, in 2012? It was in England.
London, England.
Points.
Okay, next. This is a famous ice skater that represents Korea in the Olympics. Yes, there you go.
Points.
This is the President of the United States.
Barack Obama.
Points.
Perfect. This is the leader of Myanmar. The woman.
Myanmar, Aung San Suu Kyi.
Perfect.
Points.
All right. Now this is known as.
Psy, the man.
What is the name of the song?
Horse dance. Gangnam Style.
Perfect. Okay. This is the host of the interview.
Susan MacDonald.
Okay.
No.
Host?
You have to also say my middle name. Okay. It's not Park. It's not Kim. It's not Choi.
Susan Lee MacDonald.
There you go. Okay. All right. Fantastic.
You were good.
Okay, so Hahn Dae-soo and I got 6 points, and let's see if you guys can do better.
Okay, we have to do 7.
7.
Okay, so are we ready?
The luxurious island in Korea, which every honeymoon.
Jeju-do.
It has to be exactly.
Jeju.
Jeju Island.
Yes.
Okay.
The name of my soccer musical.
High kick.
Korea's national martial art.
Taekwondo.
She was an R&B singer. I Will Always Love You.
Whitney Houston.
America's space research organization.
Pass.
Next year.
2013.
Yes. Pass. UN Secretary General.
I know.
He's pride of Korea.
Oh my God.
He's Korean.
Can you edit it? Oh, pass.
We don't have any more.
어떡해.
That was fun.
You did great. So you guys got 5 and we got 6. Yeah. We are the
really
champions.
I want a rematch.
No.
Ooh, getting vicious now. Ooh.
Let's see what there was one that we skipped. This
There you
was
go.
the
Kinky
winner
Duck's film, yeah.
of the Venice Festival, the
Yeah.
film
Right,
festival.
film festival.
Yeah, great movie.
Golden Lion.
Yes, and also we missed NASA.
Yeah.
Aw. Well, you guys did a great job.
Oh.
We did a better job.
You
but
did. My goodness.
What can I
you
tell you? When
guys,
you
I'm
good, you're
sorry,
good.
but you're the not winners. And what do the not winners get to do? The losers get to sing a song. So what are you guys going to sing?
James Brown, I Feel Good.
Okay, let's do
Okay.
that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow, that's a
Oh, and we get to hear
My
you
guitar
play
just happens
on
to
your
be here.
guitar.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic.
beautiful
Ooh,
guitar.
nice.
Yeah.
So you know the song, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Help me out, you guys.
We'll join in.
Yeah.
Feel good. I knew that I
Good
would
now.
I feel good. I knew that I would
Now.
So good. So good.
I got you. Bum, 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 bum.
I feel nice.
Like sugar and spice.
I feel nice.
Like sugar and spice.
So nice. So nice.
I got you. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, man, you got the zone now.
Susan needs a new career in singing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I realized as we were getting our group together for the show that all of us are former New Yorkers. You know, I went to college there, you went to grad school and stayed there for 10 years. You've been there for a long time and you were there. So, you know, former New Yorkers here in Korea, and there's definitely an energy now about Seoul that has always been, but right now it's really booming here. There's a fire under most people's pants being here, and it's so international. I can't believe that this is Seoul. When I came back to Korea to do the show, I had no idea that it had become so global. So many incredible restaurants and a lot of cultural activities, musicals every single night of the week.
Susan, may I add something?
Yeah, sure.
We call this before and after Psy. Right? Don't you think?
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Op, 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 op. Oppan Gangnam Style. Op, 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 op. Oppan Gangnam Style.
Psy has taken over YouTube and he has just done what no other artist or cultural personality has been able to do. What do you think is the impact that Psy has had on letting people know about Korea throughout the world?
For example, last August when I had a meeting with my buyer in the middle of LA. It's my buyer with the handbags and my accessories. And first question he asked is, "Do you know Psy?" and I was trying to find a YouTube and show it to her and them, and they were listening for 5 minutes. So I could able to prepare meetings while they're watching that. So as a Korean, I was very proud, and also it's just it's amazing how many people are watching the YouTube and recognizing Psy as an artist.
It's the highest viewed
In
YouTube
history.
video in history.
So-
You know, I mean, nearing the billion mark.
Just unbelievable.
It's
It just
incredible.
caught fire.
Yeah,
Right.
Just
yeah. What do you think it was about? I mean, you two are musicians, professional musicians, and I'm curious what your analysis of that would be.
I think a lot of K-pop has they've been really trying very hard to get to the U.S. and try to make an impact, and they've been doing it with these mega groups that are like 9 people in it, you know. So what I feel like what Psy did so well was he projected his unique individuality. You know, he looks like he could be just your average guy. It can be a superstar, and I think that translated to the audiences, and they're just like, you know, it's a very tongue-in-cheek song, and he doesn't take it so seriously, and I think that was the charm. That charmed me, you know, and I felt like I could sit down and, you know, have a drink with this guy, and I think he'll be totally real with me. And so I think that's really, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I think that was an aspect of that video which has resonated regardless of your language or culture.
Korea is definitely making its mark on the global scene, and designers particularly are doing an incredible job out of Korea as well.
Yes.
Tell us about what your impression of Korean designers across the world are.
We are not behind at all. It's happening simultaneously. So whatever that is happening in New York, Europe, and Japan, I mean, it's one time. It's 실시간. Yeah, everything is online and everything is on YouTube, just like what is happening in the music too. So you know, as a living in life in New York and I had a professional life in New York and came back to Seoul. Nobody really says, "Why are you there?" I've asked that question, you know, many times before 2006, but now they're excited about knowing about Seoul and what's going on in design world and Seoul collection too.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, which is really great for everybody.
Yeah. One of the things that I have always noticed, even before Korea really became popular as a you know, K-pop nation or the Korean wave, is that Korean people are always impeccably dressed. You know, out on the streets, you see the most incredible fashions, and some of the most incredible fashions are not in Harajuku in Japan anymore. It's not on the streets of Paris. It's here in Seoul. And so when you look at people on the streets in Garosuke or Apgujeong or even in Itaewon, you see some of the most incredible fashions, and you know, it's no longer behind the times.
Right. So we have to learn how to market ourselves correctly, and that's been challenging for everybody. But with all those SNS and all these different platforms, I'm sure we can.
Yes.
But we just have to learn how to use correct vocabulary, and we just have to know how to do that. So we have a lot, you know, to do in the future, but it's very positive.
Just a few decades ago, even in the US or in the West, very few people really knew much about Korea. A lot of the large conglomerates weren't really, you know, big back then, whether they're, you know, Samsung, Hyundai, LG, and so on and so forth. But now everyone knows about these because of the technology here. What do you think accounts for Korea being so much more recognized throughout the world?
Well, as I said, before and after Psy, and also the Olympic in 1988, they played a big part.
Kim Yoona.
Kim Yoona, and our standings in the Olympics also were like top 7 or 8, right? I believe, and also, like you said, the world global makers such as Samsung, Hyundai, and so forth. It's exploding.
Right, it's a synergy.
Right?
Yeah, it's a fashion, technology, and all culture, everything. It has to work simultaneously. I think one area cannot do it by itself.
Yes.
We just have to be all together.
Definitely.
Right.
Now, I lived here as a child, and I've come back a number of times afterwards, and it's so different than even when I was growing up in Busan.
Wow, you're a Busan girl. Me too.
All right. Wait, that didn't go well. And now as an adult, I come back and I see, you know, this incredibly technologically sophisticated and fashion-forward place. What is your impression of being in Korea as an adult now?
Too much of information. We are too fast. Compared to New Yorkers even.
Right.
Yeah, we're too fast.
Right.
And sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes I want to write a letter.
Right.
Instead of, you know, just, you know, dropping notes on Facebook. So we just have to keep the balance. But as an adult, you know, it's an amazing place to be right now in Seoul.
As someone who's spent many years abroad, what would you say is the most charming aspect of being in Korea?
Well, to continue with what Cathy Lee said, I like the fast pace. The other day, I had a ligament torn.
Oh, no.
Ligament tear. And you know, they x-rayed me, they put me in the cast in 30 minutes. I was out the door. Now, you try to get the service in New York City, it'll take
one
you 2
day.
days.
Yeah.
1 or 2 days.
1 or 2 days. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, so in that respect, I do like what's going on. But also, I agree with her. We have to know how to balance. Like, let's say the 4 of us are having lunch somewhere, and you would notice many Korean friends sitting down, and they will be doing their smartphones, texting their smartphones. They're not looking at each other, right?
Yes.
So that would be the shocking thing right now. But overall, I think everything is improving because we're becoming much more international, such as yourself and Woody. You know, everybody's been everywhere. They're getting the best aspects of what's around the world. So everybody's doing an input to Korean internationalization, I think.
Last question about Korea, and a short answer will do from each of you. What significance has Korea had in your life, Woody?
I'm having my own artistic renaissance in Korea, and I'm so happy that I'm discovering the Korean music, getting the language. It's something I never expected in the States, but it's been a really pleasant surprise and really nice to be able to connect with my heritage.
Great. Cathy?
Korean food.
Oh,
Learning
yeah.
how to cook. I mean, Korean food is very scientific. Like, you know, it's not anything same as when I had a kimchi jjigae in New York. I put, you know, kimchi and basically water and maybe dashida and, you know, expect the taste to be good. But for my mother-in-law's, you know, thing is very different.
Oh, it's not
You know,
good
which kimchi, you know, is that, right? How long was it? You know, 숙성해 and all those things. So I'm learning from step by step from very bottom how to make kimchi, how to make a 묵은지,
Wow.
you know, and so that I can inherit to my nahi.
Yeah.
Later on.
That's great. And you?
Oh, yes. The thing I like about Korea is, speaking about kimchi, I could eat all the kimchi I want every day. Right? In New York,
Right.
I could only have kimchi on Fridays and Saturdays, that's it. Because Monday I would have to go to work.
It's about time for our show to be wrapping up, unfortunately.
Oh,
As joyful as it's been.
Again, I thought it was a 2-hour special.
Well, like I said, we'll have you back next year. When you have the Korean film.
Next year!
And I have a question for you guys. Next year, we'll be doing the interview again and interviewing many more guests like yourself. Of course, you guys are individuals and unique, and no one quite like you. But if we had to have some interesting people on the show, who would you recommend to be on the show? Any thoughts?
Sting? I mean, Sean Connery.
Oh, yes. Definitely Sean Connery. And Sting would be nice, too.
Oh, you know what? There's so many international stars coming to Seoul.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you should catch them before the show.
Sting was
Absolutely.
here a couple weeks ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. And one of the things about the interview is because it's not just broadcast in Korea, but it's broadcast around the world in 188
Right,
countries. You know, it's great publicity for whoever wants to be on the show, but it's also an incredible opportunity for people all around the world to know a little bit more about Korea, and people who just have a very special tie to Korea, like yourselves. Unfortunately, we do have to part, and in celebration of this being our last show of the year, not the last show, but the last show of the year, and to basically ring in the new year, I'd like to bring out a cake, and we can celebrate.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
that's pretty.
Very nice.
Beautiful,
Beautiful
cake.
color.
Okay. Wow. Well, this is in celebration of the interviews. 2012 shows, and it's saying goodbye to 2012 and welcoming 2013. And I'd like to just give a toast. Thank you guys so much for being part of the interview.
Many more years for interview.
Absolutely.
And to Susan.
Oh, thank you guys. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
Woo. And I think we can blow out the candles. So ready? Let's make a wish. 1, 2, 3. Yay! All right.
I had a marvelous time, and it was so wonderful to be here, and it's such an honor to be chosen as a 3 guest. So it was so wonderful. So Happy New Year, and have a wonderful holiday, and I wish you the best for everybody.
Next year, I'm going to be really busy with a couple musicals, a couple films, and a couple of personal writing projects. I look forward to the busyness and the wonderful work working with many artists, and I wish you the best New Year as well, and many blessings to you all.
Everybody watching Arirang TV all over the world, have a wonderful 2013. I hope you and your family and your loved ones have a healthy and happy New Year. And if I'm touring in your area, be sure to come to see my rock and roll show, baby. It could be my last. I'm losing my voice.
Wow, I feel good. I knew that I would. I feel good. I knew that I would.